What up, though? Who is Dogmatic? All right, check it out. Who is Dogmatic? That's a good question. I'm an underground artist from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the game for over 10, 15 years, you know. And I went by the name K-Stone back in the day, but that's a whole other story, a whole other interview. But I'm an underground artist that's totally above average, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like the Joe Blow rapper you hear rapping at the hip-hop clubs. I'm much more than that. I'm an innovator, I'm a groundbreaker, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a real nigga in this game, and it's very rare. That's who Dogmatic is, a real nigga in the hip-hop game. At the title for the mixtape, what made me use the name Coleman Young is Coleman Young, Mayor Coleman Young was one of the greatest mayors that we ever had in Detroit. And one of the most out coldest mayors. He was free speech. He didn't give a fuck. He'd cuss a fucking reporter out in a minute. And he got shit done in the city. And with a mayor like him that fought that hard for something good, that's greatness to me. You know what I'm saying? So when I say like Coleman Young, you know what I'm saying, that means that it's a nigga that's from Detroit that's doing something great. And that's how I see my mixtape. It's a fucking great mixtape. And so it's like Coleman Young. So that's the, you know, the underground meaning, the underlying meaning to that. Who's featured on the Coleman Young mixtape? Let's see. That ain't really hard. I'm like I don't know and shit. I got my man Preach Fleetwood on the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I got the SNS on there. I got my man my man Buck on that bitch. I got you know what I'm saying? Of course, Big Proof is on there, and Obi Trice is on there. You know, and myself, and that right there, that's a fucking enough. Well, the mixtapes is a way for me to stay in touch with my audience. So I dropped a lot of mixtapes. That's like what I do. I do this shit all day long. We always in the studio. We always making something happen. So it's like I can't use all the music, you know, for one set thing. So I take them real purities and I set them to a side like, yo, this is for the full album. But the mixtape is just to keep feeding my audience so that y'all understand that I'm a bad motherfucker. So I just keep coming out with that shit and keep dropping shit to let y'all, just a reminder, you know what I'm saying? That's really all the mixtapes is. But the full album you can expect this summer. There will be a full Chromatic album. And oh my God, it'll be coming this summer. The full album be coming this summer. It's untitled, but check for me. I work with a lot of artists. That's a long fucking list. Okay. I work with, you know, of course everybody know me for being with Proof, but I work with all those cats, D12. I work with, you know, your Obi Trices, the Royce 5'9s. You know, I've worked with, you know, a lot of the artists like Blade, Icewood. You know what I'm saying? All of those types of cats in the city that was really putting it down. And you know, of course, Proof again. You know, so I can't forget that. That's like, you know, that's a rare star right there. So yeah. So I work with him. I work with people on the in the South like Bone Crusher. I work with Young Bloods. You know what I'm saying? I work with a lot of different artists, like, you know, people from New York too, the Jersey cats. You know, everybody, man. You know, you just check for me. Just Google me, man. I work with a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Okay, how did me and Proof hook up? Okay, and what we got a chance to do before it was untimely. Man, me and Proof hooked up way back. I met Proof like on 6 Mile and Littlefield and some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Freestyling on a Porsche. This nigga come up with the dreads and shit. And I was with my man B Def. What's up, B Def? You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time I ever saw Proof, and he was like just freestyling crazy, you know, just rapping. So we was just in there freestyling and drinking beer and shit, and we all got cool, you know. So that was like my first encounter. So and it was a while since I had seen him again, and when I ran back into him like maybe a year later, we was doing this thing called Silence to Violence for the kids in the neighborhood for Chantanese Records. That's a record store in Detroit. And it's on Gratiot and shit. So me and Proof hooked up doing this Silence to Violence record, and we actually rapped back to back. So Chromatic was being born way back in 1991. If you go back and find that Silence the Violence record, you will see that me and Proof was being Chromatic back in 1991. It began really. And so then, you know, he did his thing, you know, with the battling, and I did my thing more so trying to make records. And you know, he ended up in the hip hop shop doing that, and I ended up, you know, on tour with Breed and doing all kinds of other shit. So to make a long story short, you know, we been fucking with each other. And when and in '99 when I ran into him at Drew's, he was already on tour with him, and his things was going well for him. And he was like, "Yo, Matic, you know what I'm saying? We need to put some shit down with that record that we got to do it." So we went to my crib, we put some shit down, and the shit was so fucking hot that we just kept making songs after song after song. You know, me and Proof, we work kind of like in the same way. So we make records really fast, good records really fast, not no bullshit. And we just start putting shit down. Before we know it, we had like 18 songs, 20 songs, and all these niggas, like Malachi the Don, all of them was around. You know, G-Bo's around. It was like a family atmosphere. You know, Wit, Pep, all the niggas. You know what I'm saying? So we was really putting it down. It was a good atmosphere. Next thing you know, Chromatic was born, and that shit happened in '99, 2000. In the middle of him being on tour with D12 and Eminem and doing all that stuff, we were creating this, and that's what a lot of people don't know. So, you know, the shit got thick with it, and we decided to try to get a deal. You know what I'm saying? And Eminem was gonna sign it. We took it to him first. You know, but Proof took it to him or whatever. And you know, things didn't transpire as fast as me and Proof wanted them to. So we decided to go with Koch. And that's how we hooked up. And then, you know, he still was able to do his D12 thing and do the Chromatic thing. And even though a lot of that got conflicted, that's a whole nother interview, a whole nother story. But, you know, that's how we hooked up. And you know, it can't be a short story, but to make a long story short, that's our history for me and Proof and how Chromatic, you know, came about. And that shit happened in '99, 2000. And then we finally got signed in 2002 to Koch. So that's Chromatic. Well, a lot of people be asking me about that line. You know, there's a lot of y'all out there on the internet that want to know what I meant by that and what that means. It's like, I ain't saying Eminem hate me or nothing like that. I don't know, but I just know that me and Proof did our thing, and as close as Proof and Eminem were to each other, it looked like to me that, especially, you know, after his passing, I mean, these are my own personal feelings that, you know what I'm saying, I just feel like I got kind of passed by with the love of, oh, okay, you know, okay, Proof gone, you know, so yeah, that was his plug, so let me slide my man something or whatever. It was just like I got passed by. I don't know, you know, what that was, but that's just how I felt when I was writing it. It's like, you know what I'm saying, I did joints with Proof, D12 and all of them, but for some reason never got any love from Eminem. It just came out like that. That's just really what it is. So I ain't no beef or nothing with us. It's just, you know, some unanswered questions to, you know, on my personal stuff. A lot of people might not give a fuck. Nobody give a fuck anyway, and I'm sure Eminem don't give a fuck. So, you know, whatever. But whatever. Shouts out to Eminem. Holla at me, man. You know what I'm saying? You know me and Proof, and you know how we used to come to your birthday party and shit. We, you know, holla at your boy, man. It's Matic, man. You know, I'm still spitting. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with me. Well, you can expect me. You can expect more music. That's what you can expect from Dogmatic in the future. You can expect more music, more videos, movies, everything. You can expect me to hit overseas. You can expect to see me worldwide, still pushing, putting the shit down, mixtape after mixtape, album after album. Check for your boy. But right now I'm off that Call Me Young. And you know, check for that Chromatic this summer. It's gonna be crazy because me and Proof, you know, to go back and answer some of that other question, there was some material that we do have, and this is crazy. So we working the ins and outs to that, and we're gonna make that shit happen. We're gonna make the next Chromatic happen. So be looking for that this summer too. That's what's up. You know, we all over here, man. We connected, man. That's what's up. Yeah. That's the video, man. Check that.